Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of the Jameson Journey. Today's episode is going to be a little bit shorter because today I just want to talk about one specific type of OCD that I have mentioned before. So some of you saw that I posted on social media this week about relationship OCD, or ROCD as it's also known. I got some questions asking a little bit about what is ROCD, what is relationship OCD. I think a lot of times people don't realize that there's actually different subtypes of OCD. So you can actually have obsessive compulsive disorder, but you can also have different subtypes of obsessive compulsive disorder. And I spoke about that a little bit in my first video, but today I want to focus in on relationship OCD. The reason I want to focus in on this one is because this is something that I have dealt with. I have friends that I know have dealt with or are dealing with relationship OCD, and it really is something that can be super tough if you don't know how to navigate it properly. Once you have the right tools and the right experience and understanding what relationship OCD is, you will have a better time in your relationships, a better time in your marriage, because you won't be so focused on your ROCD or relationship OCD. So before I get into some techniques and things that I use as far as my relationship OCD, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what relationship OCD is. From here on out, I'm going to call it ROCD. So a little bit about relationship OCD. When I talked about OCD, I told you that OCD is when someone has an intrusive thought that they cannot get their mind off of. And so something like relationship OCD is relationship focused. There's two types of relationship OCD. There's actually the relationship focused OCD, and then there's the partner focused OCD. So with relationship OCD, these are intrusive thoughts about your relationship. With partner focused OCD, these are thoughts that are focused on your partner. Both of these fall under the umbrella of relationship OCD or ROCD. For the relationship OCD, this is a type of obsessive or intrusive thought that comes in your mind. These are all thoughts that many people have in relationships, but the difference is that someone with OCD decides to feel that that thought is true. They think that because that thought came in their head, it must be true, and they have to believe it. And so something for relationship OCD is this the right person for me? Do I really think I'm in love with this person? What if I see someone on the street and I think that they're good looking? Does that mean that I don't love my partner? And they'll catch on to these, they'll grasp onto these thoughts and they'll take them as true, and then they start having anxiety and obsessive thoughts all day long. So for example, in the past, there's times that I've dated someone and I've thought, is this really the right person for me? And whether they were or not, whether it was the person that I married or not, if I had that thought, is this the right person for me? Which, let's be real, everybody has that thought when they're dating or getting married. There's that thing inside of you that wants to know, like, is this truly the right person for me? But with someone with OCD or ROCD, that thought becomes all-consuming. It's all you can think about during the day. It's all you can think about when you're with your partner. You can't even enjoy going on dates. You can't even enjoy having time with them because all you can think is this the right person for me? And if it's not, I need to break up with them right this second, or else I'm wasting all of my time. And usually these thoughts come in our heads when there's no real red flags. A lot of times everything's going just fine and the relationship is great and the person is awesome. But this thought comes in our head and we feel that if we had that thought, then it must be true. Another one is the partner-focused ROCD. That one is more based off of sometimes looks. So, okay, you notice that maybe their eyebrows aren't even. And once you notice that, you get stuck on it. You're like, their eyebrows aren't even. I'm not attracted to them. I'm not attracted to them because their eyebrows are uneven. Or maybe you think their nose is too big, or their fingers are too large, or whatever it may be. Everybody has a flaw. You're not going to meet anyone in this world that is perfectly built, but someone with OCD or a more partner-focused relationship OCD is focusing in on the things about their partner that may slightly bother them. Again, we all have things that bother us about our partners. But when you get so focused on your relationship OCD, This is something that will, again, consume you all day long. When you're with your partner, all you see is their eyebrows that aren't even, or their nose that's too big. And their nose or eyebrows may be completely fine, but in your head, you're convinced that it's too big or the eyebrows are too uneven. And with that, you cannot be with this person because they're just not attractive because of this small, little, tiny thing. And again, everyone has thoughts about these, but someone with relationship OCD is going to be consumed by this thought all day long. It's going to be something that they can't get out of their head. They can't focus, again, when they're with their partner. They can't focus at work because all they can think is, should I be with this person or not? Now, to those of you that don't have relationship OCD, you may think, well, I don't understand why this is such a big deal. But the reason it's a big deal is because with someone with our OCD, it's really hard to keep a relationship. It's really hard for us to actually stay with someone because once we get an intrusive thought, we think to ourselves, nope, we gotta run, we gotta hide. I can't deal with the intrusive thoughts. I can't deal with the anxiety. I need to find someone that's not gonna bring these thoughts onto me. And I have news for you. Unfortunately, any relationship that you're in, if you have OCD or are OCD, those thoughts are gonna come. And I get lots of questions, and I know Brad doesn't mind me sharing this, but I get questions, did you have relationship OCD with Brad? Of course I did. I read his journal recently. We were on a trip in California, and he had journaled on that trip about how my OCD was really bad and that he really wanted to be there for me, but he wasn't sure how to. And we all experience OCD, relationship OCD, even if you're married. So I want to get this idea that, oh, well, once I'm married, this is going to go away because I found my person. No, even when you're married, this is still going to be here. Now, I don't want to say that in a discouraging way because I've gotten to a point where it doesn't really affect me as much as it used to, but that's because I have the right tools to help me in my relationship to make sure that I'm not letting that consume my every day, every moment, every hour. I do exposure therapy, or also known as ERP. And with that, I have to actually agree with the thoughts. And I want to do a whole episode on ERP and what exposure therapy is. But really, it comes down to the fact that if you have relationship OCD, if you have OCD, I promise you that there is help. There is a way to get out of this, and you can be happily married. I am married. I am so happy. And even when I have my small bouts of OCD and relationship OCD, I know that I can get through them when I use my exposure therapy tools. And so that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I wanted to tell you about relationship OCD and what exactly it is. So just remember, OCD, there's OCD, and then there's subtypes of OCD. So you may have OCD, you may have relationship OCD, there's a whole list of all different OCD types that you have. For me, I have a few different types of OCD. They come in different times of life. So right now, when I got married, when I was dating Brad, the relationship, the ROCD really popped up for me. And that's okay. I've learned how to use my tools and get past it. And now I know the next season of life, maybe a different subtype of OCD will pop up. And you know what? When that pops up, I have those tools to help me get through it. And so I just really want to encourage you today, if you have relationship OCD, you're hearing right now from me, I'm married and I'm happy, and I promise you can get there. I remember when I was dating with OCD and it was so bad, and I just remember thinking, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to find someone. I'm never going to be able to get through my intrusive thoughts. And it's true. My thoughts will never officially go away. I will always have OCD. But I found someone that is caring and understanding of my OCD, and someone that really encourages me to use my tools. And so I just want to encourage you, if you have ROCD, please reach out to me. I want to love on you and encourage you. And I just want to remind you, make sure that you're using your tools. And if you're saying, I don't know what those tools are, or if you're saying, I've never even heard of ROCD or OCD, and I think I may have it, please reach out to me. I have some resources that I can connect you with. I have amazing therapists I can connect you with. I would love to be there for you and just really encourage you in this time. But just remember, you are not alone. I am struggling with this. I know other people that are struggling with this, and we can get through this together. I'll do some more episodes on the other subtypes of OCD as well here in the future, but today I really wanted to focus on relationship OCD. If you don't have OCD, I hope you learned something new. And if you do, I hope you're encouraged to know that there is a future, there is hope, and you are going to get there, I promise. Thanks for joining in on today's episode.